On today's episode, we are installing the Atlas OH10X 10,000 pound capacity 2-post overhead lift. But first, I made it black. These instructions are worthless. It's happening. It's finally going up. The lift that's been sitting on the floor for about a year now, almost a year, is going up. But before the lift goes up, we need to paint. So the rafters got painted. So a lot of people left comments saying that the rafters should be black. A couple other people wanted them like the color of the wall or something. I think maybe one person wanted to leave them the color that they were, but I wound up painting them black. I think they came out really good, but now the problem is the shop looks too good and the lift doesn't really go. So thought about a few different colors. The lift it's just gonna be black. So we're gonna do that real quick. Alan's coming tomorrow, then we're gonna install it, but first we paint again. Alan has arrived to inspect, and he agrees this is a good idea.
This is definitely a good idea.
Hey, yeah. So the paint is now dry, where you can touch it and it's fine. But as soon as you go to pick it up, you leave your handprints in it. So that's a good working dryness.
So you're like, if you ever go missing, we don't need to give the police your fingerprints. They'll be
fingerprints, palm prints, eye prints. They're all in there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's get to work.
Yeah, so the good thing though about all the imperfections now, and also all the it definitely wasn't dry when I rolled this over. It's Rust-Oleum, so all you do is you wait till it's dry, and then you grab one of these and do a little touch up. So not worried about it.
Remember when we picked this thing up a year ago?
Yeah.
And we're in the parking lot, and for whatever reason, I had the receipt, and I handed you the receipt, and I said, "Oh, here's the receipt in case you need it for your warranty."
Oh, that's gone now. Yeah, no, they don't warranty them after you take them apart. So what we got to do now is figure out where it goes. And actually, if you look at these tape marks, whenever we had the shop built, the guys who built it, they put in an extra concrete beam right here for the lift. And kind of like the joist where they overdid the joist, they put too many in. They overdid the beam. It was only supposed to be 12 by 12, and they made it 12 by 24. So there's a lot of concrete down there. The thing is, I've had the truck in here, and I don't think I want the lift there. I think I want it more like here. So what we're going to do is confirm the positioning. We'll pull the truck in here, see how it fits, because that's probably one of the biggest vehicles we'll have in here is the truck. This lift is a symmetrical lift, as Alan just pointed out, which means the arms are symmetrical, and so the post is going to go in the middle of wherever the middle of your car is. So for the truck, it's probably going to be somewhere right around here, which, hello? If we put the lift where the beam is, that leaves you about this much room. How much is that? 6 feet maybe of room to work up here. But if say you have, well, the ARC-7 is going to be smaller, but say you have an ARC-7, you would have put an engine hoist here, you're not left with much room. Alan's thinking. So we still got plenty of room back here. I wanted to make sure you get a truck with an 8-foot bed in here still. So this is only the 5.5-foot bed. So we could still go back another foot or two and have room to get something longer in here if we go back. So I'm thinking,
oh, this is 20 inches wide.
yeah,
Yeah, and the cement's only 12 inches. So really, you weren't going to get all the bolts in that big beam anyway.
no, and the thing is, the bolts, they only go like, so another thing is for this lift, your concrete is supposed to be at least 4 inches thick, and this is like almost 6 inches thick. They use 2x6s, so really anywhere we put this, it should be perfectly fine.
Let's just put it sideways. One down there, one down there. Perfect.
All right, so we gotta head to the storage unit real quick, get the rest of the parts out of storage, and then we'll start putting this thing up. Are you still playing in there? Okay. Yeah, so that's part of the challenge, is finding all the parts.
We got one. Now, is this over 25 pounds?
Oh yeah, you shouldn't be lifting that at all in your state.
Medically unadvised to lift this.
And then in the back here, we have all the other randomly assorted lift parts. Like, oh no, that's weather stripping. I guess we got them all. But here's the oil catch thing Alan gave me for my birthday 2 years ago that I haven't used yet because the lift hasn't been up.
Wow, that's a little rude.
Many other things. Oh, and this needs to go on the lift.
Oh yeah, and if you need to change the oil for it, you're prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of dark in there. Alan's gonna do a little holding.
I got it. Hey, we're not like squatted, are we? We're like leaning back on this beast?
Maybe.
Okay, that's fine.
So you've seen the other YouTube videos of how to do this, or at least I have, and they just get 2 guys and you just kind of push it up. So
2 strong men, 2 gorgeous, handsome, strong men.
So based on the shipping invoice, each one of these columns weighs somewhere between like 500 and 700 pounds. But the thing is, a lot of the weight is down in the bottom here. That's where the ram is, or that's where the arm lifter thing is. And so we're gonna push from that end, and then it'll go up, and then it'll topple over the other way, and it should be fine.
I also keep my weight in the bottom. Okay, now
Let's switch it
back.
Yep.
Not, because you don't want to wear out your legs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is good. For everyone involved. Okay, there we go. Good thing we're standing under it.
Lovely. You're good. You're good. I got the whole thing, mate. I don't even know where you're here. Wow. You know Space Odyssey, the big monolith? That's kind of what we made here today. Are you doing that by yourself?
I'm a strong boy.
So Alan had some mouth surgery. He's not supposed to be exerting himself because he might like pop his stitches or blood will start spewing everywhere, and he's doing all right.
Woo. Ooh. Yes.
Here's the thing there.
Slipping a little bit, that's fine. Oh, that was the ram shifting around.
No.
Oh. Smell this. How do we get there?
Yeah. Taking your dog for a walk. Your dog weighs 700 pounds.
Oh yeah, that's. What I find is if I got a nice unsafe wobble.
Yeah, the wobble. So we are admittedly using the instructions today, and they say to go ahead and get the lift put where it needs to be, which we have done. Then it says to go ahead and bolt them into the ground, but we're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is put the top part on first to make sure we have the width exactly right, and then we're going to make sure everything is plumb, because we did just check the level already, and even though it's a flat garage floor, it's not really flat. So Alan's finding all the parts and the shims and stuff. It comes with shims, so you can level it, plumb it, whatever. And I think now he's just playing with bolts.
I wasn't playing with bolts. I was playing with nuts.
Ah. Alan had the bright idea to measure the top and make sure the bottom was the same width, and that was a good idea. And now we're much closer to plum's the word, right?
These are plumb
I mean, it's
in the lines.
so we're at the point now where we've done some shimming, and the more we shim, the more things change. So we just need to start drilling holes, putting bolts in, getting stuff permanent, and then you can shim once the bolts are in, get tightened down, shouldn't move. So we've got hammer drills, concrete bits. These are 3/4 inch bolts, or at least they look like it. We're going to use 3/4 inch bits, so that's going to happen. And the most important thing when you're drilling for concrete anchors is make sure you go deep enough and also get all of the dirt out of the holes or the dust out of the holes. Because if you put a concrete anchor in and there's a bunch of dust in there, it's not going to go down all the way. So we're going to drill our holes really deep, clean them out really good, start tightening stuff down, making sure it's level, plumb, whatever.
Do I want it to be on 1 or 2?
5.
5 it is.
So bad. If you're wondering why I'm drinking this terrible pickle beer, it's because I'm now painting the lift for the 3rd time. Yeah, the 3rd time. That's another sip of pickle beer. So Alan and I got this all up the other day. Bolts are down and tight. Everything's good. The only thing is we've got like such bright lighting in here that all the little runs all up and down the column, you could see them like pretty well. They stood out once you got the lift up in the air. So last night I went, sanded the whole thing down, went to the store, bought all that spray paint that's now on the floor. I hate you. And then I started spraying it just with the spray paint cans because, you know, you can do that. If you ever sprayed spray paint on other spray paint that isn't quite dry yet, you know what happens. So you may have paint that looks dry, feels dry to the touch, but then you spray paint on top of it and it starts to crinkle up, crack, and that's what started happening. So I started ruining all the work I had just done. And so the reason that happens is spray paint has like an accelerant in it. It makes it dry quickly, and so if you reactivate the paint that's not quite dry yet, it will crackle and ruin whatever you're working on. So, next step was to go back to the can, just the pure paint, no accelerant in that. Took a fine roller, this is 4-inch, I don't know, fine roller, rolled it all on, and that turned out really well. So if you look on this side, like this side, this is all good. That's all nice. That's gonna be fine. But it was the front and the back that had the runs on them before I really learned how to use the paint gun well. I didn't do enough sanding, and then the crackles, they were showing through too. So today, for the 3rd time, I'm sanding the lift. We will reapply using a roller with just the stuff in the can. That'll get done, but I guess I'm gonna finish this terrible pickle beer because I failed to properly paint my lift, and then we'll get on with installation. So now that the lift has been painted for the last time, probably, we need to really start assembling it. So the next thing to go in is the safety bar. So this is the safety bar. It's a padded bar that goes at the top of the lift just in case you lift the car too tall. It will turn the lift off so you don't crush your car. And so it attaches with a bracket. This one, that was pretty easy to identify. It kind of slots in, I'm guessing that end. It goes up and down in case you hit it, and it triggers this, they call a micro switch, which I'm guessing turns the lift off. The other end, I'm gonna go ahead and guess is this bracket. They don't really tell you what bracket to use, but it looks like this maybe slots into that right there. So it hinges on that end gets pushed up, and that's your safety bar. You can't even make this stuff up. Spicy pickle beer. Oh, so actually, I'm not sure this one's entirely my fault. So the instructions say to put this top bar connecting the two posts. Can you even see it? Yeah, this top bar connecting the two posts on there. They never say it needs to go one direction or the other. So I'm just about to put these brackets up, right? So this is one of the brackets for the safety bar. And the instructions clearly say that the switch needs to go on the side with the power unit. Easy, no problem, right? But the problem is the side that is not the power unit does not slot into the holes on that side, because the holes for this side are on the other side. So this top bar is backwards. And it's also kind of wet with paint. And Alan's not here to help me turn it around. And I have to fix all this myself. And that's why we were drinking spicy pickle beer, not because the Chinese instructions are terrible, but because I didn't even think to check it. Like I failed to anticipate a failure. I don't know anymore. I'm just dripping. Oh God. Next up is what they call the equalizer cables, and I'm gonna guess those are these big, like 1/4-inch thick cables here. It looks like it starts down at the bottom of one side of the lift, goes up, over, down, and attaches to the top. So it does say use an appropriate lifting equipment to raise the carriage to the first latch position. I don't know what appropriate is, but we're gonna figure something out. Next up is the safety cable. So it goes on these smaller pulleys that are on the top part of the lift. So that ended quick. Once again, the instructions are complete crap. So the bar that we need to get to route the cable through is on the inside of this column, which is fine. I've seen it. I know where it is. I can put my finger on it right now. Can't get my finger in there to put a cable through it though. So you know what? Maybe on the other side. Oh wait, there's this carrier here. Oh wait, maybe we can get to it through the access plate. No, it's behind the entire carrier assembly. So it's all out of order. Like the carrier now has to come down so we can access the safety release and put the safety cable through it. Like they should have had us do this before the equalizer cable or whatever the heck it's called, because now I'm gonna have to find some way to get this whole thing down. So that brings us to electricity, which goes right there, I guess. So there's no instructions for electricity. They just tell you that the hookup work must be carried out by a qualified electrician, which isn't me, but I think I figured it out. So this particular unit takes 230 volts. So we have a 30 amp double pole breaker here. So you're gonna have two hots going to a 10-2 wire that is in the ceiling. 10-2 meaning there's two wires that carry power, one ground wire, which I think also carries power somehow. And so we'll run them through the ceiling to a box to a whip I have bought somewhere, and that will come down to here. So you've got, I'm gonna guess these are the two hot wires and the one ground wire. The thing is, that's not cool. The way to properly do it is to put it in a box, but I'm not gonna put a box on a box. So I think what we're gonna do is take this apart, see if we can get this out of here and run our whip right into this box. We also have our micro switch to connect, and they don't give you instructions for that either, but they have a 1 and a 2 on here. So I'm guessing if we open this up in there, we're gonna find a 1 and a 2, and that's where these go. These instructions are worthless. It's a good thing we don't have a smoke detector. I might want to install a smoke detector. These instructions were completely useless. Oh God. So remember when I said there was no instructions on how to wire the electrical? The power itself, that's easy to figure out. The micro switch, that took a little bit of figuring out. I just spent like 30 minutes on the internet trying to figure it out. Some people are like, oh, just take one of the hot leads, wire the micro switch through it, but it's a micro switch. It's a small switch. The wire that is going through that can't handle the power that's coming from our breaker over there, so that's a bad idea. So eventually I did find there's another installation manual for this, like a different version of it, and it is better. It tells you to do things like grease these before you get them all the way in, and put the safety cable in before you put these cables in, like things you should do. So I think that's the better version of the instructions. And it does tell you basically for your switch here, you want to remove this wire, put the micro switch in between there and there, so this wire basically goes away. And then that way, if you hit your safety bar, the switch will turn off the connection from your button here, and then this won't go up anymore. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna put the power in like I just said a little while ago, and that should get us going. Oh, the new instructions, they also tell you how to bleed these things. There's a little valve on the top of these, so that's good information to know. Two things. One, we're gonna need more hydraulic fluid. That jug is actually from the first lift I bought 5 years ago. There was some left over, so we just used that. We're gonna need some more. It had to get fluid all the way in the lines and then all the way in the hydraulic rams, and we probably still need to bleed those. So to do that, there's little bleeder valves on the top of each ram, but also you could see the carriers were jerking. And so if you read the good instructions, it says to make sure you grease everything really good before you do any of this. So we're gonna get some grease, some hydraulic fluid, throw the arms in there, and we're gonna start lifting stuff. So the lifts, a couple of cool things real quick. I didn't even know about this, even though I'm the one who put it together. So these black bars right here, they just kind of look like handles for like moving the arms around or whatever. And you're like, why do you need the handles when you have this bar right here? But the thing is, they have little trays that slot into them. So if you're underneath here and you need to extract your exhaust bolt, throw it in a tray, there you go, it's right there. And there's one on each arm. You could also probably trip over them. So I don't know if they'll stay or not, but for now, they're on. Another thing I did not know that is probably not unique to Atlas, but the arms themselves, the way they work, so there's these springs here, right? And so right now they're pushing down these locking mechanisms into these locks on the arms so they won't move when the car's up on the lift. But when the carrier lowers down, it pushes up, the way the carrier pushes up on these bottom pins, releases the locks, and then you can move the arms wherever the heck you want. Super convenient, super easy, makes it really nice. So over here on the power coming in, I actually just took some magnets, zip tied the lines to that, and they are holding our power wire nice and straight-ish. Looks pretty good. Oh, and these bumpers right here, these are great for your doors because they've already at least hit the doors on here twice. One bad thing though, I don't know if we can even see right now, but the safety bar way up there, it's not so safe. So luckily I tested it out with the side-by-side first. It was going up, and then it never stopped. So I think I had the bracket flipped around backwards. The bar wasn't traveling enough to trigger the switch. So I've since changed that, still need to test it out, but a little fine tuning to do on the safety switch. Oh, and the fact that the Viper didn't fit, I didn't even bother to try the Corvette. The Corvette's lower than the Viper, and I knew that was gonna be a problem for those cars. The thing is, I wrote a very specific list to Santa, and it includes race ramps. So hopefully we can just get the cars up on those ramps, slide the arms under, and then we should be good to go. And so yes, this is an Atlas lift, and I forgot to mention it early on, but the reason we chose Atlas is number one, I had a 4-post Atlas lift before this, and it did just fine over like 3 or 4 years. Number two, all the lift companies, they say shipping included, but they offer a local pickup discount. So there is a Atlas lift distribution center within 45 minutes of my house. And so it turns out that the local pickup discount is about $1,000. So we saved $1,000 by getting an Atlas lift and picking it up ourselves and putting it all together. We didn't have to pay anybody to install it. So also saved a bunch of money. So the lift is installed. I know it looks a little bare, and I was planning on doing something about that. That one more thing to make it a little bit more awesome. The thing is, I ordered the wrong vinyl, so I can't cut stickers tonight. This video comes out tomorrow, so we'll see you then. But until, well, actually, you know what? A little announcement. So next big shop video anyway is going to be moving into the shop. And if you remember the garage organization video when I moved into the garage over there, we gave away some thread checkers. People went freaking nuts over those things. Like people still email, I think somebody commented like 2 days ago, do you still have the thread checkers? That video is almost 2 years old right now. And the answer is, well, yes, I'm holding one in my hands. So we gave away 2. Somebody did not claim theirs. So when we move into the shop, we'll be giving away another thread checker. There's also 1 or 2 more things to give away. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, we're just gonna go under here and we're gonna look at this oil leak I have. But it's okay, we can fix it now. We got a lift. See you later. Goodbye. Would you say it looks dirty under there?
Yeah.
I guess it is a little dirty. Yeah.
Oh, no, look, battery.
No, that's not batteries. That's good old American gasoline, sir.
Look, is it?
That's a drive shaft. Those are mufflers.
No, I see that white thing right there.
Oh, that's a fuel pump that puts the gas in it.